there, and welcome back to another episode of Be Encouraged Moments. I know I say this on every video, but it never gets old. We are so grateful that you are here, and we just love that you're sharing these moments with us, and we hope that you're sharing them with others as well. Today, we're going to be talking about boundaries. I want to talk about boundaries because I don't know about you, I am terrible at this. And I've, in a lot of self-discovery, I've learned that a lot of that has to do with the fact that I'm a people pleaser. And so I will, fudge my boundaries or move them slightly so that I don't let someone down or disappoint someone, regardless of what it does to me, which is a terrible thing. And I know that. So I, you guys know me, I love to look up definitions of boundaries, and it was so funny because I looked it up and Jan happened to be with me and I was like, I don't like any of these definitions. They're not fun. I want fun.
No.
So basically though, I think you guys all understand what boundaries are. It is a line that you won't cross to protect yourself, to protect the ones you love, to protect your well-being, whatever the case may be. And so we all need boundaries in our lives, and they're good. They're healthy. They allow us to move forward and keep ourselves healthy in our relationships, in our work, whatever the case may be. So I, the other day, came across I guess you would call it a meme or an inspirational quote online that I thought was so great. I totally stole this from somebody else, and I can't give credit because I'm not really sure who it came from. But I'm going to read it to you because I think it's amazing and it's on my phone, so bear with me. But what is boundary? And the cool thing about this, and I'm going to throw it up here on the screen for you guys so you can see it, but they took the first letter of the word and they wrote out this saying. So be aware of what is unacceptable and normalize saying no. Do what is best for you and know that it's not your responsibility to sacrifice yourself to others. I think that's amazing. Normalizing saying no. There is nothing wrong with saying no. Because again, you're protecting yourself. And I think one of the things we have to remember is, again, it goes back to that thing that I said at the beginning about being healthy and keeping ourselves healthy. If we're constantly saying yes and stretching ourselves to the limits or doing things that make us uncomfortable or saying yes to things that maybe fudge our value system, then we are letting ourselves give in and we're losing who we are and we are no longer healthy. And for me, the boundary issues are the inability to say no because I don't want to disappoint people, like I said at the beginning. But specifically, and I do this at work, I'm terrible at work. I want to say yes to everyone. And so then I end up with 1,000 projects with all of them due on the same time and not enough hours in the day to complete them all. And then I don't sleep, I don't eat right, and then I'm not attentive to my family at home, my daughter. And so then I end up breaking myself down.
And that's what I was going to add too, is that there is that trickle down effect, that it affects you, it affects your physical body and stress, like she says, it affects her and her family and work. She should only say yes to me at work. Just want to make that clear.
Yeah,
no,
absolutely.
I'm kidding.
Yes.
Yes. But boundaries are vitally important. And if you break those boundaries all the time, then you're going to find yourself being disappointed with yourself.
Absolutely.
And then it leads to stress and anxiety. And stress plays a horrible part on our health.
It does.
So just beware of that.
Yeah, and like Jan said, it's so important that you are aware of the trickle-down effect because even, yes, it not destroys, but it tears down my body, it tears down even my self-esteem, and it tears down my thought process and all those kinds of things. But like she said, take the trickle effect even further. It affects my daughter. Yes. It affects the people that I'm closest to. It affects my relationships because I'm now moody because I haven't had enough sleep or I react to things that I otherwise wouldn't react to. So I think the first step in anything, but specifically what we're talking about today, is recognizing what boundaries are. And then starting to apply reasonable boundaries that you can achieve. Don't set yourself up for failure. I've had this conversation with other topics before. Don't set a boundary that's so far out there that you're never going to keep. Set a boundary that's realistic and then maybe move that line up as you learn to say no more frequently. There's nothing wrong with saying no. And actually, I just had this conversation this morning with somebody. People in the end are going to have more respect for you for setting those boundaries because they're going to see you as a strong person who prioritizes things correctly. So this is basically a big talk to myself about learning how to set my boundaries, but I hope that it helps somebody out there as well. Thank you, as always, for joining us for our Be Encouraged moments.